surprised how Tyron kind of threw that back in your face, saying that you wanted to fight Robbie? Like, was that something you were anticipating at all?
Not at all, man. I think he's just coming up with excuses, to be honest with you, of why not to face me. I know he wants that money fight, but what champion who literally has had the belt around their waist for 30 seconds saying, hey, give me a money fight? I mean, I was kind of laughing in my head. I was all smiles there behind the desk.
I mean, Nate Diaz, I thought, caught a lot of people off guard, but George St. Pierre, obviously, was the former champion. He never lost the title. So, like, if that was the case, if he was the guy to get a fight before you, could you be more understanding of that than a Nate Diaz situation?
I mean, yeah, just because he's one of the greats, but he hasn't fought in 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and plus to give that fight to Tyron, maybe somebody else like, Anderson Silva or a Conor McGregor or something like that, a bigger name. I feel that Tyron, his name obviously isn't as big as those guys, so why would they give it to him? Yeah, man, it's going to happen. Just tell me when and where.
Yeah, and you mentioned Conor McGregor there. After that fight he had with Nate Diaz at UFC 202, a lot of people were talking about, was he running away because he was turning his back and moving across the cage, or like was he just resetting and changing his stance? What did you make of that when you were watching the fight? Did you see it as like, oh, he's running away from the fight? Or?
I didn't think he was running. I think, like you said, he was trying to catch his breath, obviously. They both were tired actually early in the fight, but he was just playing the game. He was out there just to win it. I don't think, maybe in the first round he went out there to try and knock him out. Once he figured out he couldn't, he was out there trying to pick him apart and just win on points.
And what did you think about Rory Macdonald signing Bellator, obviously his last opponent in the UFC?
Yeah, man, I know that was in the works, I think, before we even fought each other.
Did you say that because you mentioned that yesterday?
Just word. Just hearing things before the fight about him, being a free agent and maybe negotiating with other promotions. So that's why I knew that was kind of going on before us. And I think a win over me, I think he was going to use that for negotiations.